And you are listening to another edition of Blitz solo today. Just got off of Jake Asman's show. Go check out the film review I did there. I think he's still live. Don't mean to step on his toes, but I got limited time. I only got until 6:30 today to get this out. So a little bit quicker, a little bit over an hour type stream today. So hit the questions, hit all that stuff. I'll go over film if you guys want to just talk about the Jets in general. An absolutely abysmal game, a 30-3 game that very easily could have been 50-3 if the Bills kept their foot on the gas pedal. As fans, as me specifically, I didn't have high expectations for this year. I think I said, 6.5 wins would be my over-under. But I wanted to see fight. I wanted to see a team, like Glenn said, that you could be proud of. We didn't see that on Sunday. Lack of effort, blowing coverages, all of this stuff, getting blown out at home against a division rival in week 2, a game that we convinced ourselves that we could be in because, hey, the Bills are missing Ed Oliver. He really he was the only good player in the run game against the Ravens, and the Bills allowed however many yards to the Ravens. And oh my God, last second, Johnson, the slot corner is out for them, Taron Johnson. Another thing, oh my God, he's out. The Jets are really be able to move the ball, and just brutal, just absolutely no fight. Brutal from the Jets. I put out a bunch of plays on Twitter. Go follow me there, JoeRB31. I put out 20, 30 plays on Twitter. I did the short review. The short review is just highlighting how bad they were specifically in the first half, even though the second half there were balls as well, but the game was over. Went on Jake's show, watched that, and then you have the full review, and now you have a live stream. So a lot of content by Tuesday. I'm trying to pack it in all in here. Hopefully have every show done by Tuesday, Wednesday at the very latest. You guys don't lose interest. Hopefully people aren't losing interest already. It's only week 2, but it feels like it's week 12 and the Jets are 2-10 at this point based on media quotes and we have to put our head down and grind and this isn't who we are and we'll bounce back. It's like, God, dude, it's September 16th and we're already talking like this, just beyond bad. The defense was awful. There's no disguise. And I think Romo said it on the broadcast. Cover 4 looks like cover, and this is not what he said, but he said, not disguising. Cover 4 looks like cover 4. 3 looks like 3. 1 high looks like 1 high. Press man looks like press man. The penalties, the holding, the unnecessary roughness, the defense biting as hard as you could possibly bite on play action. Again, go watch the review, at least with Jake, or if not the short review, and just see how many blown coverages there were. Stevens getting outflanked to the sideline. Ball got beat 3, 4, 5 times, just having no idea where he should be. Steve Wilkes having bad coverage calls versus certain looks that I highlight in the reviews and on Jake's show. So much more. Quincy blew a coverage, supposed to match the number 2 into the flat, takes number 3 running back. Number 2 is wide open. Lucky that Leonard Taylor got a pass deflection on that one. You have Sauce blitzing from out of control and at too low of an angle. You have Josh Allen here, and you have Sauce coming at a flat angle, and Josh Allen reverse pivots gets out of the pocket. If anything, you want Sauce to blitz him a little bit more to the back hip, so you have to step up into pressure to get away from it, but he takes it too shallow, reverse pivots, gets out there. You have Sherwood on a 40-yard scramble, whatever it is, for Josh Allen, taking a terrible angle that I highlighted, where he needs to take a better containment angle to contain Josh Allen, who's known for running. You have JJ on that same play who gets too deep. You have Clemens penalty. Like, the game started off with, okay, third down, Justin Fields misses a dig, well inside of Garrett Wilson. Oh shit. Okay. Here it may be coming. Bills get the ball. Third down, 30, 40-yard scramble by Josh Allen. Shit. All right. Well, I've seen this before. 3rd and 19 because of intentional grounding comes up. The Bills are on about, 20, 30-yard line, somewhere around there. And Michael Clemens with a late hit on the quarterback, which is beyond frustrating because just like Xavier Gibson, we all know he sucked, and it took a week of him he ruined a game. We probably would have won that game if Xavier Gibson wasn't rostered to cut him. But now Glenn is coming out and excusing Clemens. He comes out after the game and pisses us all off. We got to look at the tape. I heard the same exact fucking excuses from Robert Saleh. The same shit. I got to watch the tape. And I know it's just an answer that coaches give when they're frustrated by the questions and stuff, but hold the guys accountable. We suck today. Our run defense over pursued and we couldn't handle cutbacks. Too many blown covers on defense. Fields, we have his back, but I don't know if maybe they're a little bit sensitive to the fact that maybe he's a little bit fragile mentally or whatever. But like, criticize him. Hey, he was like 3 of 11 for, I don't even know the amount of yards. I'm sorry for the dogs going crazy. I think my wife got home. But yeah, he was brutal. Like, he 1.1 QBR. We had two completed passes at halftime. I think we had like 80, 90 yards before Tyrod came in and threw for 50 yards in garbage time. The Bills ran for 200 yards. The Jets were 0-11 on first down or on third downs. Like, just so bad. Again, the quarter rule stuff, go into the reviews. They talk about that and what they should do and start playing more meg there instead of matching the one high. Just so many problems. The offense running into corner blitzes consistently. You have an end around third Jets drive. Jets are driving. They get a first down or two. You have a look where there's two corners pressed up on the line of scrimmage with a team who's consistently sending their corners, and they run an end around to it. Garrett Wilson doesn't try to block Benford, which I'm pretty sure that was the assignment based on how it played out. Goes to the linebacker instead of Benford. Benford gets right there for a loss of 10 on Arian Smith. You have another play where Trey White is coming from the right side of the screen or from the left side of the offense, right side of the defense, and he's staring at Fields and inching inside, and his heavy inside leverage on Lazard. Lazard never calls it out to Field, or at least doesn't do any hand motions. Field never sees it. They run a inside zone or outside mid zone, whatever it was, right to a blitzing corner. Like, it wasn't even things that, like, the Bills are obviously technically sound and all this stuff, but the Jets gave it to them. Like, they got outcoached so badly, so badly. We have Fields missing digs. We have Fields missing flat routes. We have Fields throwing the ball over Mason Taylor's head. We have Fields on a bang 8 or an in route. Coming off of Garrett Wilson too quickly. He skips him when both guys match the flat. It was like an in route and a flat. Both the intermediate defenders take the flat route. Justin Fields skips Garrett Wilson, who's wide open, and it takes a sack. Tyler Johnson dropped late. Sauce getting beat on 3rd and 7 by Josh Palmer and Trubisky because he holds, even though he got hands to the face. What else? Just so much bad. I want to see the offense spread it out a little bit more and throw some lighter personnel. Like I was asked on Jake's show, is it Fields? Is it Engstrand? And obviously it's both of them, but I think it's 85% Fields in this game, if not 90. Like, he sucked. Like, there was open receivers. He missed Arian Smith. He was late. He was late on his drop back, took an extra hitch, put too much heat on the ball and too high. Arian Smith caught the ball, but he got pushed out by Trey White because of the delay and because of the ball being high, he was able to get there. Doesn't even matter because Arian Smith was lined up off sides. Missed Isaiah Davis, missed Mason Taylor, missed Garrett Wilson on the dig, because he skipped him. Threw a ball to a drag route on Garrett Wilson, 3rd and 20. There's nobody even around Garrett Wilson. He puts the ball too hot and puts it inside, and Garrett Wilson should catch it because he's making $32.5 million, but Fields needs to put it on him. Like, it just so bad. This was no different than any Tim Boyle game, Zach Wilson meltdown, Mike White meltdown that happened, a few times, Flacco meltdowns, Trevor Siemian meltdowns. Didn't look any different. And people, like, they insinuate certain stuff. I'll let you do the guessing. Like, oh, there's a reason you don't like this quarterback. It's like, okay, dude. Or I watched his film last year and he wasn't very good. And there's a reason I said he would have a 5% chance of working out, 5 to 10% chance of working out. And I think 10 may even be a little bit high. It's just a thing where maybe I was playing a little bit to the crowd and didn't want to be too negative, but there's a reason he's on his 3rd team in 5 or 6 years, 6 years, right? 6 years, I think. Yeah, 6, whatever it is, 6 years, let's say. There's a reason. I watched the Steelers tape and it's, he was good and he led the team to a 4-1 record or whatever it was, 4-2 winning record, all this stuff. And they benched him because they guaranteed the spot to Russell Wilson. Let me give you a little reality check. They don't give a shit if they promise anything to Russell Wilson. They probably didn't anyway. If Justin Fields was lighting the world on fire, they're not gonna be like, hey, you're lighting the world on fire. You're leading us to all these winning records. You sit on the bench because we promised something to Russell Wilson. It's not how the NFL works. He was benched because he was not very good, and they won games mostly in spite of him. There's a game or two he looked decent. I've never seen him look as good as he did week 1. But they came crashing back down to earth and had one of the worst games you're going to see from Fields. And the problem with him is inconsistency. Reads coming off the first read too quickly, staring at the first read for too long, inaccuracy, taking sacks. Dude has like 3.5 seconds to throw the ball. The offensive line is giving him plenty of time, but he's making him look bad on PFF and stuff because he holds the ball forever and takes sacks. Like there was so much bad, and I can go through the plays again. It would be my 3rd time doing it. Did it on Jake's show, did it on the short review, did it on the long review. If you guys want it, let me know. Plays, scheme questions, anything, hit me with it. I got until about 6:15, 6:30. We'll see how it flows. I'm going solo here. Was abysmal. So hopefully it gets better because it feels like a funeral. Week 2, going to Tampa. Can you squeak out a win there? If they don't win in Tampa, you're talking about an absolute must-win against the Dolphins. You can't start the season 0-4. 0-3, you're probably already cooked in terms of playoffs and stuff. I don't think they're gonna make it anyway. 0-4 or 0-3, or sorry, 0-4. Man, then Cowboys, Broncos after that, right? Broncos week 6, Panthers 7, I think. It'd be so fun to watch good film, man. I've been doing this since 2017. 3 hours of sleep last night, trying to adjust to midnights. 3 shows today. It'd be nice if I can do fun stuff, fun film breakdowns and not just shit on the Jets all the time. I don't want to do this. But I have an obligation to the website, to you guys. I enjoy doing it for you guys, but my God, what it would be like to watch some good games like that Pats game last year, or just Jets actually winning or showing fight. Say hello to the chat. Again, I know Jake's on. I don't need to step on toes or anything like that. But I got a limited window. If I had all night, I would wait until 6 o'clock or something. But is what it is. Let's say hello to some people. Eagle thing. I don't know where to start. I will start off positive by saying the Jets will play harder going into the Bucs game. I think Glenn got the message from the Bills. Adjustments have to be made to avoid 0-3. Thank God I'm not going to this game. Those adjustments that have to be made. Again, I talked about this in the quarter rules. They got to disguise more coverages. They can't, and I think Sabo's been on this. It's a thing where every time you blitz, you don't have to run just cover 1 blitz. You can run cover 2. You can get 2 safeties high and give the corners a little bit more help. The blitzes haven't been stellar either. They're sending extra guys, but it's getting blocked up. And then you have your guys on islands in coverage. But the effort it's not a lack of effort minus one person. Clemens being an idiot, Fields sucking. I wonder where the Fields truthers are now who insinuate certain things because I don't, I criticize him. Where are you this week? But they need to make adjustments. They have to get Moncari Ball or whatever the hell his name is off the field, the special teams captain. He's grossly bad at coverage, just gross. Just run play action him every day and just throw the ball over his head because he bites on it so damn hard. Won't robot to get back into his position. There's a play cover 2. He's in the hook to curl. The corner's outside playing a curl to flat. He takes the 1, and then the only thing that Moncari Ball has on his side is a number 2 running an out route. He just spot drops and lets the guy run an out route. They complete it for a first down. He doesn't even try to match him. Ball is awful, an awful defender, just beyond miserable. So I don't know if the Jets need to make some type of Quan Alexander call or signing or somebody, or Francisco Maui-Noah, or call back Zaire Barnes, or I don't know. He's in a practice, but I don't even know where he is. But he needs to get off the field. They need to stop biting so hard on play action. Their quarter rules need to change. Penalties, disguising stuff. There's plenty of changes that you make on defense, but you're talking about a 34-point game to the Steelers because of 3 blown coverages for touchdowns, which is brutal. You have this game, the Bills could have scored 50 easily if they wanted to put their foot on the gas the entire time. Embarrassing. So at a certain point, it's going to be a thing where, Glenn wants to be the coach of the entire team, but if it keeps going like this on defense and you're going to be one of the bottom 5 defenses in the NFL, then I get it. They're not playing the Steelers and the Bills all the time. But I hate the not even moral victory shit, but the coping, the victim mentality that Jets fans have. That's been driving me crazy. 2 hard teams and the schedule lightens up and they tried and you got to give these guys, some room to grow. And all obvious, but can we just be pissed off? Who wants to watch a blowout in week 2? It was 1:12 p.m. and I knew the game was over. Like 10 minutes into the game, I was like, yeah, this is over. Halftime, it's 20-3. Like I'm running around with my son, like kind of I'm watching the game, but like I'm watching on my phone, don't care to watch on the TV anymore. Just beyond bad. Like, I mean, stop this excuse making. And I know Glenn said the instant coffee thing, and you can't blame Glenn for the last 14 years, 15 years, 50 years, whatever it is. But you got to understand the fan base is pissed, man. Like it's been going on too long with this. Like, don't save me the patient stuff. Show me a team who fights. Show me a team with effort. And there was lack of effort at times in this game. I didn't have a high bar for them. Like I said before, like a 6.5 wins. If they were 6 wins, but they were in every game or mostly every game, fine, like I'll take it. And if this is their one blowout loss of the season, fine. You're going to have 1 or 2 of those a season, maybe, hopefully 0, but 1 or 2, okay, whatever. But in week 2, come on, man. Eagle Fang, but saying that Aaron Glenn has not coached or managed a good game in the last 2 games with ultra aggressive calls, game 1 and game 2, not going for on 4th and inches. Yeah, 4th and 3 doesn't go for it, like near Bills territory, if not in it. 4th and inches from the Jets side of the field, but you're down, whatever the score was at that point, doesn't go for it. So you got to be aggressive. You got to hold guys accountable. Don't be afraid of the media to say, yeah, we suck. We have to play better. Like, go watch the film stuff is bullshit. Don't piss off the fans. Like, we're watching it live. We can see kind of what's going on wrong. Give us something. Players got to play better. It's go watch the film is the reasoning. Come on. If one thing I want to see Glenn hold guys accountable, that's what he was about. And if he's not going to do that, then and you're not winning games, get it. It's 2 weeks into it. I'm going to make the comments. Oh, don't give up on him. I'm not giving up on him. But this was gross. Like, we have to criticize him. This was awful. It's on him. It's on Wilkes. It's on Engstrand. It's a lot on Fields. It's on Clemens. It's on Ball. It's on Stevens. It's on Sauce. It's, the offensive line was fine. Garrett Wilson's going to catch balls more consistent. He's got to stop jumping. Garrett Wilson's got to stop jumping and body catching. And that was something I noticed in his gauntlet drill. At the draft is like he jumped to catch every ball, and it takes your feet off the ground, so you can't make cuts as quicker as you catch it, and he body catches. So he's got to be more consistent. Garrett Wilson too. Again, there's a reason I'm saying he's 10 through 20 as best receivers in the NFL and not top 10, because he's not top 10. Dropping balls, last week, with that drop ball as well. San Francisco game last year, first week of the season, made probably 3 or 4 pretty awful plays in terms of like not having sideline awareness and things like that. This week, not sitting it down versus zone on a flood concept. Jets can beat the Bucs, but they have to stop. They had Casey out or whatever now, who's a really good Clancy or whatever the hell his name is. He's a good run stuffer. They have a ton of injuries in the offensive line. I don't think Tristan Wirfs is playing, so barely beat the Texans. They're a beatable team, but if the Jets played like they did in week 2, the rest of the season, you're talking about a 1 or 2 win team. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. They're not going to look like that. But what Jets team shows up? Is it the Steelers Jets team, they actually look decent, or is it this game? And even the Steelers game, again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blown coverages, all the missed tackles. They didn't even look good. The defense looked atrocious. The offense was good, but great. That's one side of the ball. It's one side of the ball. Joe, should I wear my Jets gear to the Bucs game this week? Yeah, why not? Like, obviously your decision. I don't like it. It's hard to tell. I think the stadiums that you want to be wary with in terms of like wearing your stuff at is probably like, I guess a little bit of Buffalo and Pats. I didn't really have many problems in Buffalo, some snowballs, but like whatever. Week 17 of 2015. Philly, LA, like a lot of people get stabbed and shit in LA. It's like gangs and shit in the parking lot, and people are just wild there, I guess. But LA area, just shithole in general for many reasons, but nonetheless, be safe in those stadiums, Philly. But like random stadiums, like I got no problems in many of them. But like Arizona, I got a glizzy thrown at the back of my dome because of nothing. Like the Jets were down like 20-3, 27-3, like normal Jets games. And somebody threw a hot dog at me. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not even cheering. Like, I'm just sitting here. So kind of depends on how you feel about it. If you could take some heat from some people, do you? Wear the jersey. You're in Florida, right? Like I would wear a jersey. I wish I could be there with you, Eagle. I wish I could meet you, but I'm not this season. I'm not going out anywhere. Again, young kid, another young kid coming. I can't justify it. I'll be in New England If anybody's going to New England, let me know. I'm not doing any meetup or anything like that. I just I don't want to, and two, I don't want 4 people to show up. But if you're in New England, I'm going to be there like Tuesday to Friday. So hit me up. Like, I would love to. A few people hit me up, and we can set up a little gathering and grab some beers at a bar or something. That'd be pretty cool for any fans who are up there. I would love to meet some of you guys. Came from Jake show. Your takers are solid. I'm hoping that Jake ended, and I'm not cutting him off. I don't love doing that ever, especially when I just came for it. It feels weird, but I appreciate you, John B. Thank you. I speak with a background of watching film, and I won't lie to you. I will always be brutally honest, whether it be good or bad. You're never going to get sugarcoating from me, John, on this channel. So I appreciate you for new. Hopefully you stick around. Usually doing with Nania. Today a little bit shorter. I usually do 2-hour ones with Nania, but a little bit of a crunch this week, just midnights and everything, trying to figure it out. I only got till 6:30 today, but I think it's fine with a solo show. Aaron Glenn's comparing the 0-2 Jets to the 0-2 Chiefs and Legos. Yeah, I heard the 0-2 Chiefs thing. The problem with the 0-2 Chiefs is they've won 3 Super Bowls with right 3. Yeah, 3 Super Bowls with Andy Reid and Mahomes. You can't compare yourself to them. And they also lost to the Eagles. And who was the first game against? Who did they play the first game? I forget who the first game was, but the Eagles. Damn, I watched the first game too, and it just escaping my memory. But nonetheless, yeah, you're not the Chiefs. You're the 0-2 Jets. You haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. Don't compare yourself to them. You haven't done anything in the NFL yet. If you need to know how unfair the world is, Michael Clemens gets paid tens of millions of dollars to lose the Jets games with more personal fouls than sacks. In fact, yeah, he's making tens of millions of dollars, whatever. You can talk about how unfair the world is, Eagle. Me and you can unfortunately be born in North Korea and be dusting up our shrines to what's his face over there, where we get pulled out into the front yard and shot, or it could be digging for cobalt in the Congo for everybody's cell phone batteries, and then people claim wokeness and all this stuff, and it's like, bro, you're literally using a slave phone. Like, how could you be so for everybody, but then you're using a phone that was built on slavery? It's like, but hey, let's not get into all that stuff, because I'll start going off, especially the way the world is nowadays and shit I'm seeing on Twitter. People are fucking out of control today. People need a reality check. Garrett Wilson, we had a great week of practice. Yeah, dude, that's the stock answer from the last 15 years. A great week of practice. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if you can't translate it. And Garrett Wilson has to be better too. Like I said, drop pass, not sitting it down versus zone, dropping the pass last week. Steelers last year, dropping the pass for a pick. The Niners game, he was pretty bad. Again, he's a very good player, but he's been more consistent. More consistency from Garrett Wilson, no doubt. He's an inconsistent player. So Brandon R, we won't win a game until the defense is fixed. They're on pace to be an all-time bad if they don't. It will be like, and the problem with the defense too, that's so frustrating, Brandon, is it's not even like, I would understand if they had a lack of talent, but like, they have talent. And I said it right from the jump. Sherwood was overpaid. He was paid based on what they think he would do, not what he's done. He was definitely given too much money. He hasn't been good, but he's paid highly. Quincy's paid highly. A good linebacker. Cisco made $10 million a year when there's other guys out there who are making 5 or 6 who might be just as good. He's paid highly. Stevens is paid highly. Sauce is the highest paid corner in the league. Garrett, Brees, all the first round picks on the defensive line with JJ and Q and McDonald and Harrison Phillips, who's solid. And offensive side of the ball, you got a 2nd round pick at tight end and a 1st round receiver and 3 first round draft picks and a good free agent signing in Simpson and a 2nd round pick in Tippmann and all of this stuff. And they still suck. Like, that's a frustrating part. The Jets are not this bad of a team. They're not this bad with their talent. You're talking about Robert Saleh winning 4 games in 2021 with a worse team. Adam Gase in 2020, no, it was in 2020. 2019, he won 7 games. A lot of those were garbage time, or not like garbage time, but like kind of bullshit victories. But he won 7 games with a roster that like Frank Gore was toting the rock primarily. And like Curly, I don't know if it was Curly or whoever was like your number 1 at that point. Brashad Perryman was your 1. Justin Fields 1.1 QBR, and I would bet you that's not the worst. No, they probably had. I don't know if you can get negative, but I'm sure. Like a Sam Darnold ghost game or a Zach Wilson's game against the Pats, or there's been bad games. Yeah, I brought this up in Jake's stream too, and I brought it up in the review. You have a 7-step drop, and you have Mason Taylor blocking Joey Bosa 1-on-1. What are we doing? What are we doing? You can't. Like, that's just basic one-on-one football. And like Mason Taylor, who's not known for his blocking, I would say he's at least a decent pass blocker at the collegiate level, which means he's obviously a little bit lower than that as an NFL player. But you're talking about him versus a very good pass rusher when healthy. One-on-one in a 7-step drop. Now, if this is a 3-step drop, 5-step drop, and the ball is going to be out quick, okay, fine. You just got to get a hand on him. Okay, I understand it. 7-step drop with a deep developing, I think, flood concept to the left side. Joey Bosa one-on-one with Mason Taylor. Like, come on, man. So Engstrand, like a rookie, all this stuff, but that play specifically, the end around, I don't mind. Actually, I can't really kill the call because he doesn't know what they're going to line up in. It's a play that feels to the line of scrimmage and be like, hey, 2 pressed corners to each side of this. They've been blitzing their corners early on in this game. Let's change the play, maybe. Nah. Trey White, why are you inching in towards me, Trey White? Why are you staring at me? Let's run right into him. I will say that there's a few trolls bothering Ruckert's father over his son scoring his first touchdown. Yeah, like, listen, don't we're going at parents and stuff. Like, obviously that's a joke if you are. He has to be excited for his son. He looked good in week 1. This week he catches a touchdown. He actually had a pretty nice block early on in the game. I forget the play it was on, but he held up at the end pretty well. So Ruckert's actually been solid, through 2 weeks. Like, solid in terms of like a tight end 2 or 3. But hey, I'll take it. If he can go from being an absolute scrub to being a solid tight end 3 for the Jets, sign me up. I don't know if I would sign up for that right off the jump with him being a third round draft pick, I think a third or fourth, whatever it was. I'll take it, now, but then, hopefully you're hoping for tight end 2, but tight end 3, I'll take it. Brandon R. Tyrod will at least be more steady. I think a good thing. So the season doesn't completely spiral. The problem is one, is he going to stay healthy? 2, when he did come into the game, Brandon, I'll be upfront with you. There was at least a 2 or 3 reads he missed where he skipped the number 1 who was open and then looked for something else. Now maybe he's playing a little bit of hero ball, but we'll see. And Tyrod's, he's more consistent. He won't put the ball in so much danger. He has a very good deep ball. He's mobile. The problem with Tyrod is, and I think him versus Fields as a pocket passer, Tyrod's easily the better quarterback. Easily, like in terms of as a pocket passer, going through your reads, getting the ball on time, he's better. The problem is the legs. Like, you're not going to run Tyrod a lot this game on read option stuff, so it limits the offense. But hopefully the passing offense is more consistent. So we'll see. We will see. I know that based on my Jets fandom, you have Elijah Moore getting 31-yard catches on Michael Carter and running for touchdowns and all this stuff. Hassan Reddick sacks Tyrod Taylor, injures him. But then the turn happens. Brady Cook comes in, starts to light it up. The Jets found their franchise quarterback. He was a 3rd string, sitting behind guys. UDFA, Tom Brady type story. Boom. Cook is our quarterback for the future. Obviously, I'm joking, right? But yeah. I'm more excited to see Tyrod than Justin Fields, not going to lie. Yeah, again, it limits the offense, but the passing offense should be more consistent. Tyrod at least will give you a better chance at a 100-yard game than Fields playing at. That's true. How actually bad is Sherwood? Yeah, he has not been good. That is for damn sure. Over pursues a lot. And I said that in his review of this season. Go watch it. I said he gets sucked up into the line of scrimmage a lot. My problem, the worst play from him in this game is this, what was it, 30-something yards from Sherwood? But so what you have here is I don't think you guys can see my cursor, left side of the screen versus left tackle and left guard. You have both of those guys spiking inside with Quincy wrapping around, on the left side on a blitz. And then you have Sherwood, and Sherwood is in man coverage on the running back, right? And he's in a green dog. So if the running back stays in the block, he has the flexibility to blitz. If he goes out for a route, he's in coverage on him. The problem with Sherwood here is, and it's not the decision to blitz because he stays in the block, so that's fine. The problem is here, you're following the same path as Quincy. There's a lot of green grass here. You have, so come in from the other side or spy it. Like, why are you following the same path as Quincy? He just runs into an offensive lineman. Like, you need better football IQ here, Sherwood. A lot of green grass. A quarterback who's top 3 in running the ball in the NFL. At worst top 4, but Jaden Daniels above him, and Fields and Lamar. That the minimum top 4 running the ball. You have to be smarter here. Cover up the green grass, contain him. Clemens falls down. JJ gets too vertical. You got to play more contained there and not take it so deep because now you're giving me a huge rush angle. So bad job by Specifically, obviously, Clemens, JJ not great on that play. And then Sherwood just absolutely wolf on that play, dude. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, whatever the hell it was, 30-something yards. And at this point, like, yep, game is most likely over. I'm sitting there, I'm like, shit, here we go. My wife's sitting there, I really hope the Jets win. I'm like, yeah, me too. But Jets are 30th on defense in point per game. And if the Bills were to actually try, they would probably be 32. I don't know what the difference is there, but the Bills could have put 50 on the Jets pretty easy. Thomas needs to come in for Stevens ASAP. It's an interesting conversation about, accountability, but also realizing that you paid this guy $36 million. So how strict are they going to be? Is it going to be a thing where it's like, yeah, we're truly holding these guys accountable, the guys on big contracts accountable, or are you only going to hold the Xavier Gibsons, who are the 53rd guy on the roster, accountable? Because you're not holding Clemens accountable. He came in and made an excuse for him, and he specifically said, oh, well, this is the excuse, but I'm not making excuses for him. You just did it, coach. You just gave him a fucking excuse. You literally just did it. And then say you're not giving excuses. You just did. Oh, it's hard in the NFL, little light, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 3 things. I've said it multiple times now already on all these shows. 1, you're known for penalties. They're going to look at you for penalties. 2, you have a superstar quarterback who's known to flop and get penalties. 3, this umpire crew is known to throw penalties, and I can guarantee you that NFL teams are broken down. The staffs are broken down to them before the game. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is. They're in what do you think they're doing for 8 to 12 hours a day? They're looking into everything. So they're prepped on this. Hey, this crew likes to call penalties. We got to ease up this week, or, however the conversation is going to go. And then Clemens does that. It's like, God, Stevens, Thomas. Thomas started off a little bit hot in camp. He kind of slowed down, like July, August. He didn't really hear a lot about him. You had was it Corey Black signing from the Giants last week, which I don't think he's a slot, but like if they're signing Corey Black, do they have faith in Thomas? I don't know, but it should happen soon. It should happen soon, especially if you're going to show a lack of effort. Like, I don't care if you're making $36 million a year. If you're going to loaf it on a 44-yard run at the 24-yard line where you have potentially an angle to get to Cook, what if Cook trips? What if he's tired? What if you could dive and grab a shoelace and he can trip? Like, just showing lack of effort there. Like, yeah, give me Black, give me Stiggers, give me Thomas. Like, he has probably, for me, 1 more week. I'm hoping Glenn can turn this thing around. I'm hoping the season doesn't get bad enough. Yeah, like, it sucks, man. It's week 2 when we're talking like this. Seasons have so typically ended like week 2, week 3, week 4. They're 1-3, 1-4, 0-3, whatever it is, and like by October, you're looking into the draft. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to start watching Nussmeier and Klubnik and all these guys in October this year. And I'm going to have to anyway, realistically. So maybe I should get ahead of myself or get ahead of the game. But it just sucks. It sucks when the season ends in September, and again, season's not over. All this stuff, I get it, but you have to give fans and me not me specifically, but me right now, time to vent. Like, it's just, it was embarrassing. Like, it's not even, and it is them losing a lot of stuff, but it's also like Elijah Moore doing backflips, when the ball is getting kneeled. You have Joey Bosa waving at the crowd. Or at the crowd. You have Romo and Nance saying we're like Middle Tennessee playing Alabama. You have fans shooting us on Twitter. Like, I could take, I don't really want to take any more losing, but I could take losing. I could take Jets fans and the banter and all that stuff. I hate when other fan bases shit on us or players, or the Jets are a cakewalk, or Jared Allen from the Vikings saying like, oh, at least we're not the Jets, or like whatever. It's just like, it's embarrassing. Like, it's not even competitive football. I'm done with being embarrassed. Right? Can we call for Bears DJ Moore, please? Rome has taken over as the number 1. Maybe it's possible. Yeah, but what's his contract? Like, it's not going to happen, right? Like, he just signed a new contract last offseason. The Jets are not going to pay. What's DJ Moore making? DJ Moore contract. 4-year, $110 million a year. So he's making like $27 million a year, something like that. Whatever the math is quickly off the top of my head. They're not going to bring him in for $27-ish million a year and Garrett Wilson for 32. It's just like, yeah, Madden would be great, but it's not going to happen. Roster construction, they got to sign Simpson, McDonald in a few years, Fashion in a few years. I don't think they're going to spend that much money on receiver 2. That's receiver 1 money. You're not going to bring him in to be receiver 2, especially one when field, you don't know what your quarterback situation is going forward. Now, yes, it would help with a young quarterback coming in to have a legit number 2, but I don't think it has to be that hefty of a price. You can go out there and, Jawan Jennings and shit like that. Like, I don't want to bargain shop at the same time, but DJ Moore is a little bit too rich for me. I think the offense will bounce back, but I see too many holes with 11 on the defense. It's the blown coverages and stuff. Like, it's not even individual talent. Not, Ball, yes, individual talent. Clemens, yes, individual talent. But they're not like allowing a 50 burger by the Bills bad. And again, I know they only scored 30 or whatever, but it could have been 50. The offense should bounce back, I guess. The problem is, like, the Bills, they're going to send, everybody saw that film, they're going to send corner blitzes and dare Justin Fields to beat you. That's the problem with the offense is, yeah, it's dynamic and you can run the ball and all this stuff, but it's hard to run the ball with 8 or 9 in the box, regardless of how good you are. Like, the Eagles do it, but they also have Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. Like, they have to guard the pass a little bit too, but when you have Justin Fields who can't complete a pass, a wide open drag route, teams are going to dare him to beat him, and he's not going to be able to pretty consistently. So, we'll see. I'm hoping so. They're not playing the Bills defense every week, who's been very, very consistent, but stop this nonstop whine fest. Maybe the team can't fix every hole they have on one offseason. Maybe some of their starters suck right now, but there's nothing you can do about it. So should I just end the show, Billy SBC, and just say, hey, we sucked and I'll see you guys next week? Or should I talk about what happened? Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to say, hey, all these guys are great. Stevens is great. Clemens is great. Like, what am I supposed to do when the Jets get blown out other than come on here and shit on the Jets? Am I supposed to be positive? Like, dumb comment, man. I'm sorry, but nonstop whine fest. They got their asses beaten. I'm venting and talking about the game. Am I supposed to not talk about the game? I won't recap any plays that are bad. Okay, so we have Justin Field. We have Mason Taylor, 5-yard catch diving. That was cool. Ruckert got a touchdown. That was cool. Juwan Briggs was pretty good in this game. McNamara had 3 punts inside the 20. Folk made a 51-yard field goal. And that's the stream. See you guys later. Like, what am I supposed to do? Right? What? How bad does it have to be for Glenn to be one and done? 1 or 2 win team, probably. Anything past that, you're not going to see it. I wouldn't imagine. Yeah. I'm with you, Eagle. What do you want Jets fans to do except getting destroyed? Yeah, it's like it's embarrassing. So sorry, I'm talking about the game that just happened. Maybe the best thing to do is just forget about it. You can't get anything from the Bills game. So concentrate on Tampa now. No, you actually can get stuff out of it. You watch the film, you see where they fucked up. It's not like I'm just venting because of feelings. I'm venting and bringing up very specific plays and how they're blowing these coverages. So you go back, you watch the film, and you fix your mistakes. So you don't repeat history. Definition of insanity there. So you don't just go, oh, well, wipe it off. Okay, we'll just go back and do the same shit we did next week. No, let's watch the film. Let's assess how to get better. Like, forget about it. Okay. Hello, guys. Another episode of Blowout Splits. They suck. Forget about it. I'll see you guys next week. There's your show, Billy. Florida does a stand your ground state. Wear the jersey if you're strapped up, Eagle. Still make the playoffs anyway. Billy, I would bet quite a bit of money on this. And yeah, sure, they were expecting to go 0-3. Were you expecting to get absolutely destroyed in week 2? You were not. You were not, Billy. You're not saying, oh, it's fine, blowout loss. That's what you're predicting. I'm not. It's hard to wear green glass. Like, we've seen, it's been so bad for so long. How do you expect fans to have patience? I'm speaking about the game. After week one, Glenn was a genius. Not on this stream, I didn't say that. Defense had 5 or 6 just absolutely blown coverages from guys not knowing how to pick stuff up. He was not a genius in week 1, right? It's not the record, it's the way it looks. Yeah, exactly. And like week 1, I can't take much of a moral victory. Like, yeah, it looks good and all that stuff, but horseshoes and hand grenades, like, it does not matter. You're 0-1. I'm not week 2 now. I'm like, oh, but do you guys remember that really great week 1 game? Week 16, hopefully the Jets are a playoff team. Obviously probably not, but week 16, I'm not gonna make, well, do you remember that one game against the Steelers though, where we almost won? No, like week 1 only mattered if they then built upon it. They looked the complete opposite on offense. So it's hard to say, oh yeah, encouraged by week 1. But again, you had to build upon it. They didn't. So fine. LA Chargers. Oh, that's who they played. Yeah. Give me win against Tampa. I'm with you. I'm not. I don't know what else you want me to do though. 2 days after the game, they come on and not talk about the game is kind of silly, right? That's what I'm kind of doing, is recapping stuff. I don't understand how Fields can go from being in total command of the offense one week to being pathetic. It's the problem. It's the problem. He's very spotty. Accuracy is very spotty. One week he'll hit a bunch of really good passes. The next week he completely whiffs. There's times where he holds on to the first read too long. There's times he comes off of the first read too quickly. Plays the Garrett. The play he took a sack on, one of the plays he took a sack on. Garrett Wilson's wide open on like a bang 8 or an in route, and he comes off the read too quickly for whatever ungodly reason, and then takes a sack because nobody else is open. So it's inconsistency. That's a problem with Fields. Right. I think I realized last night in the shower that a lot of revelations in the shower, that even if this team goes on to win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, it doesn't equal the suffering that it brought us fans. We need to win like 5, like 5 Super Bowls. Yeah, they owe us. And I think I said this in one of the reviews I was doing. It's like, if you started a movie about the life as a life of a Jets fan, and I don't know if it starts was it 98 where they lost in the AFC Championship game to like the Jags or the Broncos, whatever it was. I was 5, so obviously I don't remember it. Do you start there? Do you start in 07 where 07, 08, where you get rid of Favre, you get rid of Pennington because of the injuries, and then he comes back week 17 or whatever it was, week 17, 16, whatever it was at that point, to beat you to make the playoffs with the Dolphins when you start out 8-3 and with the bicep? It's like, when do you start the story? Probably 98, you lose, and then next year you're supposed to be really good, and then Testaverde tears his shit, and then all of that. I probably started then, but like, I don't know if people would believe the movie. They'd be like, "This is too far fetched. This has been this bad." Robbie Anderson telling the cop that he's gonna, excuse my French here, but come in his wife's eye. Sheldon Richardson speeding. Dylan Donahue. So much bad. So much bad. But I'll take a Super Bowl. I'll take a Super Bowl. I'll get over it pretty quickly. So Angstran week 1 up, stock up, week 2 down. Yeah. And like, again, I said it, Fields is 80, 85, 90% responsible for how bad the offense was. But again, like I said, less condensed formations, more aware of the corner blitzes and stuff like that. There's some improvements. You also can't block Joey Bosa with Mason Taylor on a 7-step drop. Ruckert's a guy I wanted off the team, has been a solid player this year. Have to give him some props. Yeah, you do, right? He's been solid for the 2 games. Cool. Hopefully he continues to improve and he could be a solid tight end 2 or 3. Oral surgery. Yeah, at least after oral surgery, if they knock you out, you wake up with like a feeling like you took a good nap. I'll take a good nap at this point. Said I just transitioned to midnight, so I slept for 3 hours last night after being up for 27 hours in a row. So, which is funny because like it's pretty consistently for 3 years I work midnights and getting like 3-4 hours of sleep. And there's like people who fly to the West Coast and like, oh my God, the time change is affecting me like 2 days in. It's like, oh my God, dude, shut up. That's affecting you. Come on now. 2-hour time change, 3-hour, whatever it is. Oh my God. Poor me. I only slept 6 hours last night. Oh, I fucking wish I slept 6 hours. Do the Jets currently have a quarterback 3? Brady Cook. Yeah, I'm assuming Brady Cook's going to be your tight end 3 or your quarterback 3. Sorry, 2. Reddick sacks. Tyrod. Brady Cook comes in. A Tom Brady type situation. He takes over. Brady Cook's the answer. We have the foundation. This is the way it is. The difference is Tyra can turn Smith into a number 2. Fields can't. Yeah, he'll open up the passing offense. That's for sure. He'll be more consistent. He'll hit guys. Really good deep ball. He's going to target Garrett Wilson 1,000 times. Fine. I'm cool with it. Steve Wilkes is a bit step down from Ulbrich. Thoroughly unimpressive. Yeah, Ulbrich, Saleh. Saleh was calling the defense for a while. Saleh, obviously you criticize him for timeouts and lack of accountability and being bad with the media, etc. But the thing you can't say about him is his defenses were bad. His defenses were pretty consistently good. Now, the problem with the defenses were in big spots. They always came up short. It's like Jets versus the Colts. They score a touchdown. Colts score a touchdown. Jets score a touchdown back. Colts score a touchdown back. It's like they never could hold up, end of the first half, end of the second half. After the Jets scored, they always allowed scores. So there was problems with it, but like, he definitely wasn't a bad DC. That is for sure. Bryce Huff just got a sack to end the game against whoever they played with the Niners. So Aaron Rodgers and Elijah Moore pretend leaders, acting like clowns after the game. Rodgers flexing on the Jets. Yeah, like taking like subtle shot, like not directly saying, Garrett Wilson was like, oh yeah, like DK Metcalf as a number one puts in the time. That happened to me in Green Bay. Just completely skips the Jets because he's trying to throw a shot at Garrett Wilson for not doing the work. Blaming Calvin Austin for a play. I'm not sure what it was, but blaming Calvin Austin in the media. So Rodgers, my problem with Rodgers is he puts no blame on himself. He says he doesn't like attention, but does everything to attract attention, and it says he doesn't like it. So I don't love him. And then Moore is obviously, dude, as soon as you get a receiver and he starts putting out scriptures, it's going to go bad for the most part. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be crazy. Oh, super chat, didn't see it. Sorry, Jan. Missed the show. Hope you are well. To me, the season about evaluating the coaching staff after week 1, they took a step, maybe 2 forward. After week 1, they took 4 steps back. Yeah, no, it's I talk about it a lot already, Jan, and in Jake's show too. Go watch that. I'll talk about it quite a bit. The coaching staff offensively was not great. Again, I'm not going to say terrible. A lot of it was on Justin Fields, but the defensive staff was pretty awful this game with calls and a lot of different things. Alignments, getting wrong type of quarters calls. There's a lot wrong with the defense, but yeah, it's evaluating the coaching staff. It's evaluating the young players. Realistically, again, we all expected a 6 to 8 win year. Maybe somewhere a little bit lower, maybe you're somewhere a bit higher, but I would say the majority was 6, 7 wins. And we wanted a competitive team and the young guys to compete. We knew it wasn't going to be a thing where the Jets made the playoffs most likely, or got deep into the playoffs. Maybe, maybe they scrape in as a wild card with 9 wins or whatever, but it's an evaluation type of year. It's just, you don't want to see this in week 2, just getting absolutely mollywopped at home by a divisional opponent who got ran on all day against the Ravens. Now the Ravens have more of a passing offense, so they can't stack the box like they did against the Jets. So I understand it, but you don't want to see it. So it's evaluating coaching staff and the young players. Again, Fields is a shot in the dark in terms of, is he going to work out long term? Again, there's a reason I said 5 to 10% chance, because he's probably not. We saw why this game. But yeah, let's see at least the direction. Let's see the direction. Let's see. Okay, I'm going back down, trying to find where I was at. Get a win against Tampa. Jets are head to schedule. Yeah, again, winning against Tampa does a lot, but if you don't win that game, and don't lose me with the moral victory stuff, you're going into a must-win game against the Dolphins on. Is that Monday Night Football? I think it's Monday Night Football. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where I was. Sorry, I scrolled down to the super chat. Now I'm a little bit lost. I got it. I wanted to sign Amari Cooper and Clowney. They didn't. That's an error. Amari Cooper retired, but I get it. I'm with you. I would have taken him, Billy. And then Clowney, something we complained about all offseason was their edge depth, because you don't really have a run stuffer in McDonald, and JJ was coming off of an Achilles injury, so you didn't know how they would play. JJ's injured now, and you're gonna have Clemens playing a lot of reps. And when rundown situations, you're gonna have McDonald coming out for McGregor, who didn't look good in the last game. So people bitched about the defensive line depth. Clowney was out there, and he's a mercenary. Like, he's not a guy like, oh, I want to go to a winning team. Like, he'll play for the Panthers, the Raiders, the Browns. It does not matter. Pay him the highest amount of money. They could have done that instead of Hassan Reddick. They didn't. I would have signed this off. I'd have loved to see that, or Zadarius Smith or something. I don't want to see Clemens on the field anymore. I think folks overrate Sherwood because of all the tackles he had last season. Yeah, I would say in general he's a little bit overrated by the fans. Not now. Last season, though, he was. And initially, it was the opposite. Initially, like late in the season, Jaguars games, whatever that was, in like 2022 or 3, I was like, damn, like he actually looks really good in these games. Let's get him on the field more. And then it turned into him getting a little bit overhyped by the fans, and he's actually playing a lot. Again, just a lot of over pursuit from him, and I think he's pretty bad in coverage in general. Just so not great. They're locked into him for at least another 2 years. Oh, did they sign Mollett? Did they sign Mollett? I think Mollett plays in the slot too, Stanley. I'm not sure if I know they brought in Needham. I didn't think Mollett was locked in yet, unless it is. And obviously I'm on here, so I don't know. But hey, fine. Like, it's, yeah. My only concern with this is, though, if you're looking at 2 slot guys and Needham and Mollett, who I believe is a slot guy, Michael Carter, is he injured again? Like, he just got paid a lot of money. He's not performing well right now at this point in the season. And, week 2 is probably worked worse than week 1. In week 1, he had a bad missed tackle, but past that, he's actually pretty fine. Week 2, not great, but he's been injured a lot, So Michael Carter needs to step his game up too, but it's a concern. We're like, hey, Bryce Huff plays well under Saleh and, MC2 and JFM and Quincy. And now all these guys, Sherwood, and now they're all taking steps back. Is it a coaching thing? Is it a player thing? Stevens being signed was never a good move. I never understood what made Muji think this guy would be a different player with the Jets. Half the question is football IQ. I think, and again, I said it with him. I said it with Arian Smith. I think they saw a lot of guys in this offseason who had one fatal flaw that they thought that they can coach up. Stevens' fatal flaws, he has no idea when to turn and play the football or when to play through the hands. That's not it. It's not like, oh, well, and a lot of people say, oh, he doesn't look back for the football. He does. The problem is he does it the very last second. The very last second. Looks back for the ball over his head, catch. He's got to play the eyes and the hands more than he does. Again, after 5 to 7 yards, if the receivers look back for the ball, he runs 5 to 7 yards while looking back. You have to anticipate the ball being there relatively soon. So you can't then look back for the ball. You got to play through the hands. And he doesn't do it. He looks back consistently very late, and the ball gets completed right over his head. So I think they thought they can fix that. They haven't so far. Gibson felt like a scapegoat. We all knew he shouldn't have been on the roster, but this felt like showmanship, hold everyone accountable. The other is, are you feeling pressure? You're gonna cut Clemens now? Like why Gibson but not Clemens? Is it because they don't have anybody at defensive line and they're concerned where Gibson's replaceable? I don't know, but to see Clemens have a penalty like that, a coach preach accountability, and then Clemens to come back out the next drive was pretty frustrating. Signing Stevens wasn't as bad as the contract. Who were they competing with? Yeah, it's impossible to know, right? You don't know. The thing is, like, he's making like what, $12 million a year or whatever it is. $12 million a year for a decent number 2 corner is not bad. The problem is he hasn't been decent so far. I think he was a decent to bad cornerback 2 with the Ravens, because he's always there. It's just he gets consistently beat when the ball's in the air, specifically vertically. They haven't fixed the fatal flaws yet. So you're stuck with them for another year or two, and you don't want a guy on your bench who's making $12 million a year, but accountability. If you're preaching it, be about it. Assuming the Jets lose this week from Eagle, if the Jets not beat the Dolphins and start 0-4, do you think the Jets will start to move star players and kick around? I don't think they have to rebuild. I think at that point, and I think even if they're 1-3, it might be a thing where if you're kind of out of the playoff running by the bye week, you get rid of guys who are going to be here for a year. Like they see Breece Hall, like, nah, we're not going to re-sign him. Cisco, okay, we saw him for 8 weeks. We don't think we're going to re-sign him. Trade him. And anybody who's not here for the long term, trade them at the trade deadline. I'm completely fine with that. Build up picks, give you more ammo to move up, move around the draft, whatever it may be. But I think they're going to be sellers regardless. So I think they'll move as early as week 4, week 5 to trade. Probably not, but I think there will be some trades of some veterans later on in the season who are only here for a year. Nussmeier's hurt, Sellers, Alar. Yeah, and like I'm not a big college football guy, but from everything I've seen on Twitter and like breakdowns and just hearing fans speak about these games, it's none of the quarterbacks have looked good. I think everybody's stock is down, right? Nussmeier's hurt. Arch Manning's look like shit. I can't speak specifically about Sellers and Alar, but I think everybody's like stock is kind of down right now. And that's what happens. Like everybody hypes up these quarterback classes. Last year, Alar was supposed to come out, didn't. Beck was supposed to come out, didn't, because he was going to be like a 6th round draft pick. It's just like, well, next year, the quarterbacks, it's every single year. It's, the next year's quarterbacks. But it's so easy for a couple of guys to get hurt or suck. And then, again, what if Manning goes back to school? What if Beck is a 6th round pick? What if Alar is a 2nd round? Like you can have Nussmeier and Sellers as the 1 and 2, and the Jets are picking at 6 with 2 quarterback needy teams at 1 and 2 who don't want to trade down. You don't know. But yeah, this is supposed to be the 4 or 5 quarterback draft, all that stuff. You have no idea. We'll see. Campbell had a 0-29 loss to New England and a 6-24 loss to Dallas in 2022. I'm far from an optimistic Jet fan, but you get one of these a year. I'm with you. Like RJ, I think it's a thing where you get like 1 or 2 stinkers a year. I'm okay with that. You rather see it in week 14, 15 than week 2. The problem, the only thing I'll combat this comment with is look at the talent that roster had in terms of the Lions versus the Jets roster in 2022. The Lions roster in 2022 is nothing compared to the Jets roster. That was a team who was supposed to only win 4 or 5 games. I'm not saying this roster is amazing, but They didn't have Sauce and all this offensive line, and they didn't have this. So like, yeah, fine. They got blown out, but the roster was worse. So we have to throw that caveat in there. Yeah, one more blowout loss, okay, but this keeps happening. Obviously, we have a problem, right? They aren't parting with draft capital either. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, with the DJ Moore thing, I'm assuming this is 20 minutes ago. Yeah, they're not going to give up capital when you might have to move up for a quarterback. It's not happening. I agree with you, Igor. Next 4 games: Bucks, Dolphins, Cowboys, Broncos. It's realistic. Win 2 of them. Dolphins, Cowboys, Bucks, Broncos, whatever it is. Win 2 of them. And I said it before the season started. I would sign the dotted line for 2 and 4, and not like I want that. I want 6-0 realistically, but being where we are now, are we going to sign up for 2 wins in the next 4 games? I am. I don't think they're winning 3 of the next 4 games for 3-3. That's what a lot of people were saying, but yeah, give me 2 of these games and get the season back on track. I'm okay with 2 and 4. The Jets lost the game on Sunday because they couldn't run the ball. It was all based on running the ball and keeping Allen and your defense on the field. They didn't do that. There were so many reasons they lost this game. Fields couldn't complete a pass to get the run game going. Bad calls on offense, at least some. Defense blowing coverages, penalties. 3rd and 9, Sherwood not being disciplined. 3rd and 19, penalties. Sauce Gardner getting beat by Trubisky and Josh Palmer with a holding call and getting beat regardless. There was a litany of reasons they lost the game, but for the offensively, they couldn't run the ball because they stacked the box and dared Fields to throw it, and he couldn't do it. Not like week 1 was amazing either. Yeah, it's you blew the game. You blew the game. You fumbled it. You gave up 3 broken defensive plays for touchdowns. It's not like it was encouraging because of the offense, but again, it was something you had to build upon for it to stick, and it didn't. We thought the Buffalo run defense was soft. We were wrong. It's just like they called the perfect game too in terms of like when the blitz, all this stuff. They had the Jets number. They had the Jets number. Briggs and Phillips have been great so far. It doesn't cover for Stevens' deal, but it helps. Yeah, Briggs and Phillips for multiple 6th-round picks were great additions. Briggs has been solid. Phillips has been solid. They were both good ads, no doubt. Props to Briggs, Numara, and Folk. McNamara, whatever his name is. Yeah, Briggs. I would say like Ruckert had a nice block or 2, a touchdown. Taylor had a diving catch, but like past that, there's really nothing. No, I'm saying we got blown out by probably the number 1. I get it, but it's a divisional opponent that you've played pretty consistently tight throughout the last few years, and getting I get losing. If they were to lose this game 30-17, 30-20, and they showed some fight, then fine. But my problem is when it's 1:12 p.m. and the game is over. Like, I don't care if you're number 1 favorite, 2 or 3 or 4. We're an NFL team. It shouldn't be over 12 minutes into the game. That's what I'm saying. It was embarrassing how they lost. I didn't expect to win, but I wanted them to be in the game in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, and it was over literally 10 minutes into the game. Like actual time, actual like game time, probably 5 minutes into the game. 10 minutes left in the 1st quarter, the game feels over. 99, they lost to Elway and the Broncos. And was it the next year that Vinny tore his stuff? So 99, I guess they start that. You start the documentary on the Jets fandom the last 25 years, quarter century. They beat the Jags in the playoffs at home in the AFC division round in 1999, and then lost to the Broncos. Yeah, in 99, lost to the Broncos, and then Vinny tore his stuff in 2000. Then okay, yeah, Gino getting punched, and like Igor, I don't know if you're new here. In the offseason when obviously there's nothing going on, I had to do a public speaking class because I'm a range instructor, so I teach people how to shoot guns, and I had to go to a course like for public speaking, and I gave a 30-minute presentation on how bad my life has been as a Jets fan. So that's somewhere in the ether if you want to go check it out. But I go over Donahue, Gino, Rex Ryan with the feet, everything. Favre, Rodgers, everything. I did it. I went through everything since like 2000 in 30 minutes in that public speaking class. So go back and watch that if you want a nice recap of how shitty the Jets have been. I think Tyrod Taylor gives you a good chance against Tampa's beatable. They didn't look great. I'm with you. Mayfield got sacked. That Cansey or whatever the hell his name is, a defensive lineman, is a good run stuffer, is also out. Tristan Wirfs is out. Godwin's not playing. Now you have Mike Evans and Abuka who have been lighting it up. But Mike Evans versus Sauce, it's a good matchup for Sauce. Like, this is a winnable game. Every game is winnable. They have talent. Like, there's no game on the schedule left. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to get blown out. Or they should be in all these games. They could beat the Tampa. It's just, are we the week 1 Jets with obviously plenty of mistakes to still fix? Or are we week 2 Jets where we have no chance against anybody? Minus the Broncos and maybe the Dolphins. Not the Broncos, Browns, Panthers, Dolphins, Pats. Solid defense gave it 3 touchdowns passing this weekend to Saints. Of course, tough save the games. Yeah. If Tyrod starts against Tampa and Jets win, did Tyrod start? Yeah, it's a really interesting question, Billy. I think if Fields is healthy, they still play him, and then he probably has a quick plug. I think that's what the Jets probably do. Even though I rather just ride the hot hand. If Tyrod lights it up, fine. Like, that's what we're doing for evaluation. Now the problem is Tyrod has no future to potentially be the Jets' long-term quarterback. Fields does, whilst it being a very small chance. They're still going to want to play it out a little bit more. I could see him getting benched maybe like halfway through the season. I don't think it's going to be this early. Primetime game Monday night against the Dolphins. They have to figure that out too, because I work that night. So I'm going to have to just stay up, I guess, through it and then go to work. How do you think this defense compares to Ulrich Saleh's first-year defense? If I'm remembering well, they sucked bad. It's hard to remember like very, very specifically about that, but they didn't have the talent, of that this defense has. That's for sure. So maybe they did. They actually had some good talent there. I'd have to go back and look, honestly. Igor, defense, first-year defense. They sucked, right? Like they struggled against the Bengals, and then you had White Cotton fighting with Q on the sideline. You had a bunch of really bad there at the start, and then Saleh took over and they played pretty well and like changed the course of the defense. So we hope for Glenn in terms of like comparison 1-for-1. I have to go back and look at the roster and stuff. That's what you're talking about. But they had good players, right? They had Rankins, they had Q, they had JJ rookie year, right? 2022, right? Yeah. Never a Sherwood fan. Mullet isn't signed yet. Yeah, I saw they're interested in him, but didn't sign him yet. Same old Jets fan. They're instilling a new offense, new defense, and I'll be QB. Gives Tony the GM. Did I say fire Glenn, or am I criticizing a very bad game? Like, I don't understand fans who are so defensive of the Jets when they haven't done anything for us in 15 years. And I get it's a new regime, but am I supposed to come on here and not criticize a terrible game? Like, did I once say fire Glenn? No, I'm saying they play like absolute ball sacks. And I'm criticizing it. I'm allowed to do that 2 days after it. Like, I'm not supposed to come in and be, sunshine and rainbows. At least Jeremy Ruckert, let's all celebrate, and I'll play the Jeremy Ruckert play for a touchdown for 2 hours. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do other than talk about the game here, guys. I know it's negative. Like, what are we doing? What am I supposed to do other than talk about it? Go on my Twitter. Like, how am I not supposed to be angry about how bad they played? They were making mistakes that high schoolers don't make at times. So go and watch Twitter. Like, go watch the full review. Go and watch the short review that's coming out probably tonight. Go and watch the Jake Asman show where I broke down the film. Like, how am I not supposed to be mad about it? I'm not wash my hands. Okay, on to Tampa. You have to talk about what happened. What would the show be? Am I supposed to just preview the games upcoming and not talk about the results from last week? What are we doing here? Nussmeier. Yeah, I think I watched him against who did they start the season off? That's LSU quarterback, right? They start off the season against somebody relatively solid. And I think it was them versus Clemson, right? It was LSU Clemson. So it was Klubnik or whatever versus Nussmeier. I wasn't blown away by either. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the quarterbacks. But you guys know, if you stick with the channel, I'm going to have Nussmeier and Klubnik and all these guys reviews. I hate doing quarterback in-depth stuff in the offseason. I'm not a fan of evaluating quarterbacks and whatever else. It's just annoying to me. It's a lot. It's very hefty to 4 quarterback reviews on your plate. But that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. Maybe I'll get a head start. We'll see. I would have never paid Sauce until he proved this year I don't trust him or his effort. I'm fine with paying Sauce. Two of the most concerning players so far have been MC and Sherwood. Yeah, Stevens, we kind of expected to not be great, right? But I'm with you, David. I think those are 2 good names. MC has not been himself so far this season. Like, week 1 was probably overrated in terms of how bad he played, but still not good. It was bad this game. Got beat by Elijah Moore for a 31-yard completion, and Sherwood's been awful. So yeah, those are concerning because they're here too, right? Like, they're at least here for at least next year, right? They both signed like 3-year deals, whatever it was. So they're both here next year. But MC has had a longer track record, so I'm more confident MC bouncing back, where the problem is the injuries. So how injured is he? Clearly he's injured because they're bringing in backup options. My concerns with Sherwood, there's a small sample size of him being good, decent to good. So it's not like he's a track record of like, oh, we can just fall back on that. Sauce, that is, he didn't deserve it. He was an all-pro his 2 out of his first 3 years. And even in his down year, he was a top 10 to 15 corner. Let's talk about the stuff that actually, like Sauce had 2 bad plays. He gave up the completion to Josh Palmer. He came in way too shallow on that blitz, but let's not, we have so many things to be negative about. Let's not start questioning Sauce's contract. Again, 2 all-pros in his first 2 years. It's never been done in NFL history. Never been done. What do you think Jerry Jones saying the Jets were in trade talk for Parsons, the rumor? Yeah, so this was a thing that was apparently offered to the Jets, never really got anywhere because of the contract or whatever else they wouldn't assign Parsons to, but it's not like they offered Q in the first. The Cowboys were apparently floating it out there. So it's not like they were offering up Q. So I'm like, oh my God, are they trying to get rid of Q? It's something that the Cowboys called about or inquired about or whatever it is. So I feel like they can beat the Dolphins, then either the Bucs or the Cowboys. Yeah. You can win every week, but you got to beat the Dolphins at the minimum. And I'm with you. These are 2 of the 3. I don't think they're going to beat the Broncos flying, first time for Glenn as a head coach overseas, all this stuff. Really good defense. I don't have a lot of faith in that game. But yeah, Dolphins is a must win to me, even if you win this game. And then, yeah, give me Bucs or Cowboys. I'm with you. Maybe Cowboys, Bucs. All these teams are beatable. The Jets can beat all these teams. They really can. Does it ever get better? I don't know, Greg. I don't know. This game was painful itself by listening to the Romo and Nance. You're talking like people are making fun of us. You have again the backflips. You got Joey Bosa waving to the crowd. You got them comparing us to Middle Tennessee versus Alabama. It's embarrassing. Any injury? 99. Oh, so he was injured that year and they still made it? Am I mistaken right now? I don't know. Handed them 13 points off mistakes right off the bat. You can't do that with the Bills. Yeah, no doubt. You missed that. You missed that first dig. You have the penalty on 3rd and 19. You have the fumble by Fields. Yeah, right off the bat, it was 10, right? Was it 13? What else did they do to give him 13? They get at least 10 points as handed right off the beginning of the game, which you cannot do against, again, like you said before, the favorites for the Super Bowl this year. I would like to see obviously, screw the Bills. The one thing we have on them right now is the Super Bowl. Give me Ravens. Give me a Ravens. I don't even know who I would want from the NFC in the Super Bowl. I really don't care. I don't know. Surprise team. The Lions. Not the Lions. Not the Lions. I'm not surprised. I was actually thinking of Stafford with the Rams, but I don't really know who I want to make it from the NFC. I would see Lamar win one, though. Annoys me seeing Elijah Moore acting like the Jets did him dirty when he ruined the Jets' career. Yeah, bitching after like a 3 or 4 game winning streak because he didn't get targets against Green Bay. Elijah Moore's I'm not a big fan of Elijah Moore and his attitude. Holier than thou, but an absolute asshole. Stevens quitting on a cook TD was a terrible look. Yeah, pulled up at the 24-yard line. Fans were calling for Ulbricht's head after the first year ended. Was it the first year? I don't think they had a lot of talent in year 1. It was really after the first 3 or 4 weeks of the second season they were calling for his head. And then that's when Saleh replaced him. Maybe they were in year 1, Igor. I'm misremembering. It's possible, obviously, but I don't really remember. Commission should force owners to sell their team if they hadn't made the playoffs for 10 years. It's about only the Jets right there. Kind of soft. The problem with that is like you have a coach who preaches toughness, and like a lot of these players individually are tough. It's like the overall mindset, like they're just quitters at times. We'll see. It's week 2 again. I'm not quitting on Glenn or anything like that. Don't get on me, but that was about as bad of a week 2 as you can possibly have. Minus Zach Wilson 4 picks against the Patriots in week 2 of 2021, right? This is a rookie year. My ball sacks could have played defense much better. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It was awful. They could have put up 50 pretty easily. Coaches got dominated. Yeah, I've highlighted that a lot. Or yeah, I was gonna say a pretty bit, which is stupid, but a lot, yes. Got dominated badly. Sherwood's got me messed up. I was never a believer, but damn, not like this. Yeah, he's been awful. Takes time for players to learn a new system, but Jesus, I thought. And the problem is too, like I talked about it, they didn't really disguise a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of rotations. So if they start disguising stuff and throwing rotations into there, it's more complicated for them, and they're going to blow more defenses. There's been so many blown defenses. And again, if you want to torture yourself, if you want to support the channel, go and watch those reviews. Again, $3 a month, you can get the full review. It's an hour of me just shitting on the Jets the entire time. And again, I highlight the 6, 7, 8 plays that were good in this game. But yeah, in terms of like people talk about the coaching and stuff, I go over all of that. Not livid. No, I'm not. I'm a little bit apathetic right now. I'm not livid, but it needs to change quickly. It can't happen again. It can't happen again. The staff gamble on sure we're taking another leap with the money. Yeah, I'm with you. Pay to him for what he could be, not what he is. Player sucks, coach. You got to create a standard. Yeah, and your film review where there are shots to take or just Fields not pull the trigger. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna say shots like deep shots, but the sack. Bosa sacks him. He's wide open. He misses Arian Smith on that corner route because he holds the ball for an extra second. Ball is too high. That was bad. There was a lot of, Isaiah Davis missing him, Garrett Wilson missing him multiple times. There were some shots. I wouldn't say like shots, deep shots, but there was open receivers that he was not hitting 100%. Dude, the stadium experience was terrible. The product, yeah, the stadium's awful. You get into there, it's an awful looking stadium. I've been to plenty. It looks terrible. Overrun by Bills fans, demand ticket money early, raising ticket prices, sending not even a fucking keychain for season ticket holders. You get nothing. There's no benefit to it. Minus, after years of buying season tickets, your prices go down 1%. Okay, cool. Awful. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought, Eagle. 98 going into 99 is when they did that, and then the next season where they tore it. Yeah, that's what I thought. What do you think of Breece Hall's play from week 1? Versus week 1, it was great. Week 2, he didn't really have many opportunities. I think he was fine. Like I didn't look at him like, oh my god, he missed holes. He was awful. He just had no ops. Yeah, I'm still okay thinking this team falling between 6 and 8, 7 and 9. I was probably like 6 or 7. I think I was at 7 wins. I'm going to lower my expectation to 6 after how bad that was. But that's it. I put the over under at 6 or 7. Or 6.5 as the over under. 7 and 9 though. Hey, 9 wins, I'll take it. Especially starting 0-2. You're gonna finish the season. What? 9 and. Oh my God! Quick math. 9 and 6 over the next 15. Fine, sign me up. Saves were still bad, but a little better than week 1. Yeah. I see the one guy getting dunked on a little bit, but he gave up one play deep, or he almost gave up a play deep. But Tony Adams actually made a few plays in the run game, so give him some credit. Concerned about Fashanu yet? No. Delgado. If you're seeing PFF numbers for like bad PFF numbers for him, he was fine this week. He overset once and allowed some inside pressure on both a run and a pass. So 2 bad plays I can think of. Week 1, he was actually really good and he had a bad PFF number. So if you're basing it on PFF, don't be concerned. He's been fine. Non-factor so far this week, yeah. Or so far at this point. One silver lining, Tyrod plays, he'll take deep shots. True. I'm going to run through the next couple questions. Got to bounce out here at 6:30. I appreciate all you guys being in here, new listeners, all that stuff. Something I definitely noticed, Fields' internal clock was off in this game, week 1, and more decisive. Yeah, this game he's coming off of guys too early, staring at him too long, missing guys. Is getting 5 wins. Yeah, 5, 6, 7 wins probably. Thoughts on Nick Needham? It all it does is I don't know him individually. I haven't watched him, but it signals to me that MC2 has a decent injury. I was at the stadium and I just don't have it until we rewatch the game to get real takeaways. Yeah, I got you, dude. I got you. That's why you're here. I did it pretty quickly, but obviously the film reviews, I show it in more detail. I know the DM room is very thin, but Clemens and McGregor playing about half the snaps is brutal. Yeah, JJ went down and McDonald hasn't been good in the run game yet. I appreciate you guys. A lot of content pouring out today. Again, short film review, long film review, bunch of plays on Twitter. JoeRB31, Jake Asman show broke down some plays. I appreciate you guys. Season's not over. It's only week 2, but hopefully